For more on Mikhail Gorbachev's relations with Africa, I'm joined live via Skype from Washington by Paul Nantulya, a research specialist at the Africa Center for Strategic Studies. Paul, it's great to have you back on Africa 54.
Well, thank you very much for having me back. It's always great to be on the show with you.
Right. Now, Gorbachev is credited with having mediated peace in some African countries. How was he able to do that?
Well, he did it by virtue of the fact that Russia, the Soviet Union at the time, had a lot of influence on the continent of Africa, economic influence, military influence, and tremendous political clout. So, for instance, we saw his the manner in which he steered the Mozambican process, which resulted in the Rome Peace Accords. He played a very important role as a discreet advisor to the Frelimo government at the time, which was extremely close to the Soviet Union and to their adversaries, as well as the United Nations. He also played a tremendous role in Angola in resolving the tensions there between the ruling MPLA, of which the Soviet Union had tremendous influence, and the MPLA. There were quite a number of peace initiatives that were attempted during that period, and we also saw him playing a very important role as a discreet advisor to the United Nations and to the Organization of African Unity as far as resolving the crisis in Ethiopia was concerned. The Derg regime at the time, which had been close to the Soviet Union, Mikhail Gorbachev advised it and played a critical role, including the decision, to set the country on a reform path, on a path of economic and political reform. Ethiopians will remember the role that Mikhail Gorbachev played in that process.
Paul, it is said that Gorbachev was popular outside of Russia. What other things did he do that made a global impact?
Well, this morning I was talking to a colleague, a senior official from an African country that will remain unnamed, and he basically said that Gorbachev was quote unquote stupid because he presided over the collapse of the Soviet Union. So he does leave a mixed legacy, but I reminded this person that I was speaking to that Gorbachev played a really critical role on the African continent. And I'll give one example, which was that famous Battle of Quito Carnaval in Angola, in which the Angolan government and the African National Congress and the liberation movements in Namibia scored unexpected victories over apartheid South Africa, and that process then established a diplomatic track in which Namibia secured independence in exchange for the withdrawal of Cuban and Soviet troops from Angola. That decision was made by Gorbachev. And so if you talk to Namibians, there are two people that they recognize as the fathers of independence. One is Fidel Castro, and the other is Mikhail Gorbachev. And I should say that Namibian process, which it was an outcome of the Battle of Quito Carnaval, also resulted in securing the ANC additional facilities, because the ANC now could not operate in Angola, and they were taken to Tanzania and Uganda. And Mikhail Gorbachev personally negotiated that process.
Paul, I wish we had more time maybe to talk about the Russia-Ukraine invasion, but now we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much, yes. Paul. Paul Nantulya is a research specialist at the Africa Center for Strategic Studies.